Hi everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. Yesterday, it was Sunday yesterday, today's Monday, and we were out in the yard with our cats, and we have the bad bees. If you're from the Midwest, we call them the orchard bees. You go to the orchard, you go any place where there's kind of sweet food now until the first hard frost comes, and there's swarms of the bad bees. Like, they're not pollinator bees. We have beekeep things in our yard, and I love those bees, but our cats had gone back to the back where we have a little greenhouse, and inside was a wicker basket, and apparently the orchard bees had built I don't know, they're all congregating in there, thousands of them, and so it stung one of my cats, and I tried to shoo the other cat away. It ended up getting her as well, but I got several bee stings as they all came flying out, all on my hand because I tried to block them. So my hand's a little swollen, so it looks like I have unusually large hands, or one hand today. That's why it hurts like crazy. I have put essential oils. I've taken Benadryl, which just makes me super tired. I've put on some anti-inflammation cream. So we'll just give it another day and hope that it feels better, but it really does hurt. And I feel sorry for my cats because I didn't give them anything. I didn't know what to do. But today, you're going to love the card that I have for you. It is actually going to be, every time there's a new holiday catalog, I pick a suite and I do a free online class with it. So if you got the catalog from me, you have the little list of the things that I've chosen to be my classes and my clubs for September and October. If you don't get my catalog and you're interested in it, it will be on my class and clubs website as soon as I have time to get it all up. So I've got a couple things on my list I got to get done before I can do that, but it should be on soon. But if you don't have a mini catalog and you don't have a demonstrator sending you one, just message me and I'll be happy to send you one. If you're my customer, and you should have gotten tracking, I know lots of you have already started to get them because you've emailed me to tell me what you like. So I'm going to show you, well, here's a couple of cards if you missed them. These all have tutorials on my channel, and they are all part of the holiday catalog. So these two, this one and this one, if you're watching this, it is the day I post this video. It's the last day to save $10 to register for online class. It's my try it for the holiday catalog. Every time a new catalog comes out, I do a try it class. This is one of the actual projects. This one I took a project, and you can watch the video and I explain it a little bit more. But in this video, I tell you all about try it class, and we'll make 10 cards together. Each one will have a video. Each one has a full page instructions with pictures in my PDF that you'll get of the class. So we'll use 10 new papers, all the new ribbons, all the new embellishments, and then we'll make 10 cards together. They'll be fun folds. So this is one of the projects. You can go watch that video. And the 20th is the last day for early bird. It's been on for a couple of weeks now. So if you want to save $10, go watch that. And then today I am going to use, I don't remember what the suite is called, and I can't show the catalog online. Hold on, let me look it up. Season of Elegance. So I'm going to use the Season of Elegance as my free online class. You can get details on it. So there'll be different ways to participate. One is if you buy the suite from me, then all the supplies will be free. We are going to do 4 cards together, so that you'll get 4 cards and 4 envelopes, and then you'll get the stuff. So like if you were doing this project, this isn't one of the projects, but you'll be able to do it because you'll have everything. Like you would get this cut down. The suite does have embellishments and ribbon. So you'll use that. You'll use the designer series paper. There are the 2 stamp sets. So I'm going to use the suite today. This uses one of the sheets of paper. I'm going to show you the paper. And this will be an add-on to the free class, which I've never done before. So if you add on the Good Shepherd to the other 2, you have to get the big class to do the Good Shepherd, then you'll get supplies to make 2 extra projects as well. But everybody who gets the free class will get those. Then if you are a demonstrator, or if you've bought the suite from someone else, you can sign up just to get the supplies and the videos. Or if you're on my team, you get it for free. So that's how my team works. So there's 2 stamps in our stamp bundles in the suite. This one's the Peaceful Season. It's the one that I used to make the Merry Christmas on this card. So today I'm going to use 3 of the dies. Here's the ones I'm not using. So here are the ones I'm not using, and then I'll show you the ones that I am, and that's the Peaceful Season. And then the Peaceful Evergreens have lots of dies. And I am not using any of these on today's card, but we will use them in the class. And I will try to get another sample card up before it's time to register for the class or purchase the suite. It does have a folder as well, and I'm going to use the folder so you can see that. Then we have, I'll show you the paper. I'm using the red sheet. I used the vanilla sheet on the shepherd's card when I made it before, and then there's a couple of different green sheets of paper. So we'll use the paper. One side has all the foils, Pacific or peacock. So there's the papers, and then this red one. So the Peaceful Evergreen, as well as being something that you can use, where did I lay the folder, that you can use for Christmas. You'll be able to use it all year round. I just laid all those cards on top of it. So the folder has 3 evergreens, and you can just make nature cards the rest of the year with the folder and the trees. You could make scrapbook pages, all kinds of nature projects with this. So I have taken a piece of our watercolor cardstock, and I have cut it in half this way, so it's this big. So it's like I'm going to say like 4 by 7. So I just cut it in half this way, so it's 3.5. And obviously you can't get all the trees on here if you do it like that. So I'm just going to get these 2 trees. I want to make sure I have the top, because if they come off the bottom, that's okay. So I'm going to slide it in here. Move it over so you get as much of the tree as possible. And you could go this way too if you wanted to get the 2 other trees. And then you can kind of check and make sure they're on here. And then you just need the gray plate, and you're going to run those through your die cut machine. And it's so pretty when it's done, especially on the watercolor cardstock, because it kind of really puffs it up. But you could just use this as a card. So if you run out of time and you find it's 2 weeks till Christmas, just do this and slap a Merry Christmas on here and call it a day. But I'm going to keep going with it. And now I'm going to stamp on it. So the trees in the set coordinate with the folder. So I've got the large tree. I think it's the large and the medium trees that I'm using on this card. So I'm just going to stamp it with Old Olive. And just line it up along the top. You can see it doesn't do the whole thing, but that's okay. So press that on there. And then I'm just going to kind of ink this bottom bit of the stamp. And just fill this in. And I'm just going to kind of push to there, because it doesn't have to be perfect. Isn't that pretty? And then let's take the skinny tree. Ink it. And then you just pop it right over the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it just colors in some of the branches, and then some of them look like they're covered in snow. It's beautiful. So because it's watercolor cardstock, you could now take anything wet. So I would use a water painter and paint it, but I wanted mine to be shimmery because it's Christmas and because I'm really, really into shimmering everything at the moment. So here's the inside of the card, and on it, I'm going to do, there's a little sprig of trees. I don't know why I put the pad back, but I did. Blame it on the Benadryl, right? And on this card, I'm going to stamp these on the other side. They were an afterthought on my other card, and everything was mounted. And sometimes, you know, if you try to stamp on the back of something where everything else is stuck on the other side, it doesn't go well. I'm just going to add the trees over here. And then I have a piece of scrap vanilla, and I have the same for the insides. It says, hoping the season is bright and beautiful. And then I'm going to use 3 dies out of this set that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this small square one. So I'll die cut that in a second. Then we are going to take some cherry cobbler cardstock. This is just a piece of scrap. And I'm going to ink it with my Versamark. And my tray is still with all my camp stuff. I haven't cleaned everything up because by the time Friday was done, I moved it all back to my studio, but I haven't cleaned it up. And then it was like go, and we had a super busy weekend. It was a ton of fun, but we did a lot of stuff. So there wasn't time for cleaning up. So it's still not clean. So this says joy to love and you, joy and love to you. Let me heat set this. So this is going to use this die here. And that's going to go on here. So let's just go ahead and trim this down. I keep it. Who else does this? I have like a bucket next to me and it's got all the scrap papers in it. So when I'm done with the paper and I haven't used a whole one, it gets thrown in the bucket. And it's perfect for stuff like this. So here's this one. And then on the front of this card, I am going to use, let's press this down so it's nice and flat, a sheet of the cherry cobbler paper out of the suite. And it's so beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? The other side on all of them don't have, they're the same colors, they just don't have the gold. But because it's so beautiful, I want to see all of this, and I don't care that there's a border. So I did cut it 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now, if you're using it to make your Christmas cards, you have to remember that when you do 4 1/4 as opposed to 4, you'll get less sheets out of it. And I wanted it to go this direction, so it kind of looked like the snow was falling. But, you know, you're going to stick this on the top, so you don't get it to end up seeing a lot of that beautiful paper, and that's a lot of waste, right? Because all that's just under there. So I'm going to take this one. And you can always do this anytime. You can do it with a punch or you can do it with dies. As long as the die is smaller than what you are going to put over the top, you can cut this window out and nobody's ever going to know that there's a piece missing behind their card. So I'm going to put it like right here so I get some of both colors, and I'm going to trim these three things out. All right, so let's go back to our trees now, and I'm going to shimmer them. There is a video on how to make this shimmer solution if you haven't caught that. It's a few under. I did it a couple, maybe getting close to a month ago. So if you just scroll back in all my videos, you can find it. I will also put the link down underneath this video, but y'all keep asking where it is, even when I tell you where the link is and where to find the video. So sometimes I'm busy. Like if you ask on the weekends, you're not going to probably get answered until Monday evening because my Mondays then are always busy. So it's glycerin and Wink of Stella, and I keep it in this little bottle that I got off of Amazon. Also, those links are in that video. And I just have made this solution. And so I want to get the trees. I don't want to cover up the fun snow effect. So if you did, you could rub it, but I want to keep that. So first I'm going to kind of wet it. I'm just going to daub this on where the trees are. And let that olive ink kind of re-moisten a little bit, because I want some of it to kind of move around, but not a ton. And then before my cat here, before this gets green in it, because it will on this card get a little bit of green, I'm going to go ahead and shimmer the background because it's snowing outside, and we all know it. How beautiful it is when you have a snowy sky, huh? So just shimmer that around. And then now I'm going to take this and I'm going to rub just ever so slightly. This is more glycerin on here than I have been putting on regular cards, but I want it super shiny, and because it's the watercolor cardstock, it can take it without curling it. So you can kind of see where it's, you can see my brush is getting green. See how it has that green hue in it? But I don't want to cover up all that white, so I'm just going to kind of do a less is more. And then we're good. Isn't that pretty? Actually, it has a little bit of red somewhere that's, well, it's gone now. I'm sure it's off of a time that I've gotten red ink on it. So now let's put all this together. We are going to start with our frame with the hole. So now we have a piece for the inside and nobody's going to know. I find it's easier when you're putting a piece that's the whole piece because there's no border. So you have to be pretty much exact where you're putting it. I'm going to go ahead and just line my ink my adhesive like that, and then lay it here, and don't press it until you're sure it's good. So let it kind of fall, and then once you know it's on there straight, then you can press it down. So let's do the inside, get that a second longer to set. So here's my pretty thing that I cut out of the middle. You can see these have ribbon slots, but because it's going on the inside of the card, I don't need a ribbon slot. And then we have our little one. You could shimmer these pieces too if you wanted. Let's pop this in here. So now the inside of our card is going to be as beautiful as the outside of our card. Now the ribbon that comes in this suite is cherry cobbler and gold. Isn't that pretty? I'm just going to tie a small bow. So start with it like this, and you can see this is big, but I pulled it tight, and then I'm just going to pull these until they're pretty small, and then pull it tight again, because every time you pull it tight it gets a little bit bigger, but we don't want it to come undone. So one more time. That's a pretty good bow, because I don't want it to overpower my trees. And then before I cut it, I'm going to lay it here and see which direction I want it to go. My other bow dictated that my words went over here, but it doesn't matter, so I'm going to do it this direction. And then if you wait till the shimmer solution is dry, you could just tape this right on. Obviously, I'm not going to wait to show you how to finish the card. So I'm going to pop this over and add a little bit of adhesive right here. And I'm just going to hold this in place and fold it around. So there's not anything actually holding this to the front of my card because it's still wet. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals because I want to give this a little bit of lift off the card. I'll put 2 here. And then you know this piece at the bottom, I go all around the edges. I've used the other 3 edges on my other card. So I'm going to put this here and make sure you get over the ribbon, and that's going to ensure that ribbon doesn't come off. And if you just kind of do it random, then that's enough. This watercolor cardstock is super heavy, so it's not going to bend. You don't have to worry about that. Now we'll just pop this on. And I went for it a little bit in the corner because I felt like then you got to see more of the gold. Yeah, somewhere I have red, but it matches the card, so I'm not going to worry about it. Must be in my brush. Or I guess it could even be from the paper, but I think it's probably from the brush. I'm going to just stick this here. Again, if you wait till it's all the way dry, it will stick better than mine is going to stick. So now we have this. It's so very pretty. And then the embellishments that come in this suite are the gold textured adhesive back dots. So when you do the class, you'll use these embellishments. You'll use your ribbon, you'll use your paper, you use your folder, your stamps. And the things that aren't part of the suite are the things that I send. So if we use other ribbon, and then all the cardstock and the envelopes, those are the things that I will send to you. So I'm just going to add these. There is a star stamp in the set, but I wanted to kind of keep the colors of the card red and green, and then just have these little pops of gold. And I felt like if I stamped the star on in Wild Wheat or something, it was going to add one more color, and I just was trying to keep it easy. Yeah, that's not stuck on there because it's, I'll have to remember to glue that down in a second. So here's this one. I'll just go ahead and show you this one since it's dry and everything's stuck on, but it's nice and shimmery. Hopefully you can see it. The shimmer technique is something you really have to do in person so you can see how pretty it is. And then here's the inside of this one. Remember on the other one, I put the trees over there. So if you're interested in the class and you're on my email, then I will send you all the information on how to register. If you purchase the suite from me, you do need to register because that's how you will get your stuff. I won't go back through all my orders and see who ordered it. So exactly what you will need. And I would recommend, if you want to do it, that you purchase very early in the ordering period of the catalog. September 4th is when it goes live, because if things go on back order, then your option will be to purchase the mailed part of the kit and then just get your things later as they come in, because the free option will go away. So that's what I have for you today. Come back. I have several more. I've pre-recorded a bunch of stuff, so I have several more videos that use designer series paper. I have one that uses the autumn leaves, and I'll keep throwing some sneak peeks your way. Have a great one. Bye.